Hey guys, thank you for all the Patreon subscribers. Literally, you're the reason my disabled dog is getting food. And I'm eating her food as sandwiches. So please donate to the Patreon if you guys haven't donated to the Patreon. That'd be awesome. I would love if you guys would donate to the Patreon. That'd be so fucking sick. New York City, I am working on a new solo show February 16th at Caveat. It's a work in progress. I was told it's a weird white girl time for a Sunday show, 5 o'clock, no worries, no problem. Today we have Jamie Wolf on the podcast, amazing stand-up comedian, and one of my best friends, super complicated person. LOL. LOL. Look at your hair.
Hello. Oh, yeah.
Hi.
I forgot.
You look like a new man.
I know.
The other day you walked in, you're like, I just got this psych ward.
I said what?
I just got a psych ward, and your hair was like this.
That was crazy.
Hi, it looks
Hey.
good. Come here. Isn't this crazy?
Go all the way around.
It's fucking free to use.
Yeah, that's wild.
I know, and it's super easy. Wait,
Really?
and I'm excited for you to put on the headphones because I have something to show you.
How is it free to use? That doesn't even make sense.
Probably like grants from the city or something.
Yeah. Oh, these are great. Wow, this is nice. I like this.
Can you hear yourself?
Hello?
Welcome to the podcast. Is that how they greeted you when you went into the psych ward? Are we allowed to talk about? You never answered my text.
Yeah, we can talk about it. Can I take the headphones off, though?
Yeah, you can take the headphones
that
off.
always bugs me out.
You don't
I
like
can
it?
No, when you can hear your own voice right in your own ear.
I actually feel like sometimes it makes it like more like I'm on a podcast, so then it's more professional. But then sometimes I'm actually like blacking out. Like I'm actually not present at all.
That's how I feel. I feel like a consumer of my own voice.
I feel like an AI of myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm like answering. And then what did you do? How did that make you relate? And so anyway, on Call Her Daddy.
On Call Her Daddy.
I'm literally like, why the fuck am I like? I had one of those days after New Year's where I was like, why the fuck am I doing a podcast? Why do I talk so much? Why do I need to talk so much? What do I even have to say?
That's why I stopped doing one.
Yeah, wait. Also, can I tell you, I got this message from a super fan of like this. You know how like people have kind of created like this is a very niche group of people, by the way. Like me, you, Casey, Lucas. Like there's some like little people that follow us and are like
big people. They're big. They're huge to us.
They're huge and they're scary every time they show up at the live shows. No, when you posted the picture of you kissing your now ex-girlfriend, a fan reached out to me and was like, "Mommy, what do I do? Oh, sad boy now has a girlfriend. What do I do, Mommy?"
Like as a bit, was it that weird?
Yeah, well, they're all like kind of bit, you know, like we're having gay sex fans too. They're all kind of bitty, but they are like freaks, which is like perfect for me because I handle that great. They come in and I'm like, "Mommy's here, it's okay." In my head, I was like, I don't know, I've never seen him post a picture like that. It's not gonna last long.
You said that.
No, I didn't say that to a stranger. In my head, I couldn't say that. That would be like breaking some contract between us.
No, why? You could say that.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you're not supposed to share anything with them that's like real.
Yeah, that's real. Outside of what I might say on a
like
podcast.
my actual like diagnosis of like what is going on. Yeah, don't worry. Give it 2 weeks. This is the phase where he's really happy. Is this too much roasting?
Don't worry, he'll crash soon.
I really liked your set the other night.
Oh, thanks.
How did it feel?
It felt fine. You know, it's always new. Like, it's new stuff, so I don't really put too much stock into how it goes or what was happening. I listened back, and they were a little too friendly of an audience. It wasn't too good of a read on any of the material.
All of it did go very well.
Yeah, which is not realistic at all.
I don't know. Sometimes for you, yeah.
No, not of what stays.
No.
Like of what sticks
Can't
around?
put the headphones back on.
I
What'd
see you
you say,
freaking out.
no?
You keep looking around like.
It's honestly, this is like so overstimulating. And like, I think I'm autistic. And being a producer of my own podcast is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I can put them back on.
No, I was kidding. It's fine. I'm freaking
I really
out.
don't like this.
Yeah, take it off.
It is, you're acting as producer and yourself on a podcast.
Yeah, and then did I tell you what, when I had, take those off, please. It's making me uncomfortable now. Now you're offending me.
That was weird.
So back to Jamie's psych ward trip. No, I had Miranda and Eric on, and
Yeah.
I don't know, my friends are so funny, so I forgot to be like, let me debrief them because normal people don't talk this much. So they were like lost, confused, upset that I was riffing on personal things they just shared.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, in my head, I was steaming. I was like, oh, it's my fucking podcast. Like, it's hard to book this free space. Fucking talking about.
Like they're in the wrong.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we're the complete weirdos.
Oh, it's so weird. I was like, why aren't you comfortable sharing that? Because they don't work in this industry, and also only 200 people are gonna watch this on YouTube. And so then I was like, guys, like we just need to like we need to figure out what's going on. It's not working. Like I just autistically was like, this isn't working.
Yeah.
And it was awkward for a second, and then I go, okay, let's close our eyes, breathe a little, and then I said, Kylie, these people aren't here to sabotage your podcast, okay? These people love you.
Not here to
It's like my friend that's giving me housing right next to me. I'm like, he's sabotaging my podcast.
She's not here to ruin your life. Even though she is right
Even though
now.
Miranda's also doing a one-woman show, it doesn't mean she's going to skin you.
Is she really?
Yes,
Oh.
and it's called Bunny. Such a close thing to bird.
That is very close.
And so I said, why is it called Bunny? And she didn't have an answer. So I was like, you can't do that.
Oh, that's strange. It is strange to be, not that Miranda's doing this, but it is strange when like you I don't know, who is a good example? I'm trying to think of the person. Well, there's someone I know who like started stand-up when they started dating a stand-up, and I think that happens a lot, and it's like pretty obvious they're not like a comic.
Yeah.
But what they want is what you have, which is like a direction and purpose.
Yeah.
And so they just, like when you become friends with them, they just kind of start doing that. Oh, I have a good example, but I actually can't say who it is. But like two of my friends, the one of them is not a comedian, but became friends with one of my friends who is a comedian. And then they started out of nowhere, they fully are a musician. They out of nowhere just started saying they were a comedian as well. I'm unclear as to why.
That's like when I dated, you remember when I dated that girl who was like a content creator, stand-up comedian, and then she got married to a musician, and now she's a musician.
Yeah.
They didn't even meet in person. They got engaged. Like 2 months after she dated me and was like, you're immature because I wasn't texting her back.
That one?
That one.
That one got, I didn't hear the rest
She
of the
got
story.
married like 2 months later to a woman she had never met before and is now on tour as one of her backup vocalists.
Holy shit.
That could have been me, brother.
As someone who hard launched a week ago and broke up with someone 2 days ago, they're going to last. They've got what it takes.
I was like, okay, so Allie called me like when you posted it, not like right after, Jamie posted it. Like it was just like it came up in one of our daily calls. And she was
Yeah,
like,
that wasn't why she called. That'd be crazy.
is he okay?
Breathless.
Did you see my Instagram? Jamie Wolf Comedy posted on Instagram. It's not comedy. It's not comedy. What do we do? And she was like, it's so funny. It's just like not what I expected Jamie to post. And like, I've never seen him post anything like that. And I was like, yeah, me either. And then yesterday, I was like, Allie, guess who broke up? It's Jamie. I'm like, yeah.
It's truly so funny how we are. Like, just that's such a thing. That's so us.
How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about the breakup?
When you did it at the time, was it to just get people to stop going into your DMs, or
Oh.
was it just because you like were so excited?
Why did I hard launch?
Yeah, why'd you hard launch?
Well, one
Answer all the questions.
I think the most important thing to remember here is I just don't care what's on my social media. Like I couldn't care less what's on there.
Yeah.
So it's not to
You're
me
just
a big
like
thing.
you're feeding things on.
The only thing I care about is making enough money doing stand up that I can keep just doing stand up. So it doesn't matter to me what's on there as long as I can further that goal.
Did your sales go down or up?
Well, I just know that posting more is good. So I'm
Yeah.
like, whatever it is, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then, so that's baseline. That's the first thing you should know. The second thing you should know is the woman I was dating wanted me to hard launch her quite badly. And then the third thing you should know is that I did not want women to come to shows thinking they could date me.
Yeah.
That's like the last person I want to come to a show.
Yeah.
Because they're just not good audience members. And also they don't understand the comedy.
A repel
Not
tactic.
that any woman who wants to date me doesn't understand the comedy. It's just they are not going to get or like it if that's why you're there. It's just so not going to work.
I feel, yeah. Okay.
Because
So
I talk about my having a soft dick,
Your
not being able to
dick
get
not
hard, being a very
working.
anxious person, being socially anxious, being a drug addict.
basically all the things
having
girls
a porn
look
addiction.
for in a boyfriend.
Exactly.
If anything, it's just like you're like Pete Davidson out there.
What's
And,
that mean? Except that I'm funny.
Can I put the headphones back on?
I'd say the big difference between Pete and I is occasionally I'll get a laugh.
Oh, like your stand-up special will be actual stand-up? Yeah. Not just about you dating Ariana Grande?
Or reading through my own phone.
That honestly, I feel like that is like how famous I want to get, is where I just like make a special about my hard launch that only lasted 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's totally.
That's actually the best level you
My
can
hard
get on.
launch that only lasted 2 weeks. That is such a cool level to be so famous that people, they don't even
No.
care if it's funny. They just need to hear the scoop.
They really gotta know the scoop.
Yeah.
And
What happened?
Especially when I saw John Mulaney's like after, like
Yeah.
it was right when Olivia Munn announced that she was like pregnant with her first baby, and he was like, "Wow, I've never had someone be so upset about having a baby before," and I'm just like, ugh. It was kind of funny. That's a kind of funny riff about you having a baby and everyone hating it.
Everyone being angry that you have a child. Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be this beautiful thing.
And everyone's fucking pissed. But by the way, everyone who doesn't know him at all,
No.
just absolute strangers.
But I also like that the art hoes like were so on his ex-wife Anna Marie Tendler that like they like rode for her.
Yeah.
They were like, fuck
Yeah.
John Mulaney.
The funny thing I heard from someone, anyway, I just heard that she was really terrible to him.
Her book was
And the reason he got divorced from her was she wasn't supportive when he tried to get sober. So it's funny because like everyone assumes.
No, we got to be drunk while I'm taking pictures
Everyone
as my
assumes.
art. Oh, come on. You got to do cocaine before I paint.
We should all agree that pictures are not art. That's just
I'm
not
like,
art.
yeah, honey, I got an iPhone too.
Yeah. It's literally it's one of the only arts where you don't get better, you just get more money. That's what getting better is at photography, is
then
getting a nicer and nicer lens and camera and editing software.
And you go into a gallery and then it just like, then once they've done all that, it's now just like shot on a camera that was found at the bottom of the ocean that actually doesn't work. And you can't see it, but you can see the film developed. And it's like, what the fuck? We paid like $2 million in grants for that? Artists are scammers.
Artists are scammers. I'm saying that as a scammer, by the way.
Well, I feel like, especially now, we're like, it was selling a product. So then it's also like me and you were selling our personal selves, but it's still not like fully ourselves.
No.
That I forgot that people think that like even my friends, like, the other night, the boy that I'm seeing, he was over with Eric, and he hadn't read my pilot script, which obviously is required if you're gonna have sex with me. And so we put it on the TV, and he read all the parts I read for myself, and Eric read the stage direction.
You did a table reading of your own script with your situationship and your roommate.
yes. And he goes, I've never read a script before. And he like was killing all the parts. Like,
Wow.
like his line readings were just impeccable.
Yeah.
But wait, what was I talking about before that?
We were talking about you forget that people think they know you.
Oh, and then afterwards, it's like he was like, so that was all based off your life? And I was like, yeah, it was all based off my life. And then he like referenced something in the script, and I'm like, it didn't happen exactly like that. What the fuck? You thought I jerked off a cop in his car, bro? Like, okay, no problem.
It is so one-to-one where if someone thinks in stand-up, in movies, in TV shows, in writing, if someone thinks it definitely happened, there's no way it happened. And if they think there's no way it happened, that's definitely the only true thing. It's like one-to-one.
Who do you
When
think?
someone goes up to me after a show, they're like, there's no way you're Jewish. I'm like, that's the only yes.
I love that Hassan Minaj just like really took that and ran with it. That's why would you admit that? Why would you admit that? Just get
No, he didn't admit that.
He didn't?
Oh, did he? I'm not
About
on the
lying
internet.
about
I
this
should
shit?
never interrupt and say
You have
that
no
I know.
cultural
I have
digest.
no cultural digest. I have no clue.
That is so crazy. Like, what do you think about all
I'm
day?
basing what do I think about
Like-
all day? I try to think of jokes. I think of like the people I love. I call people.
I try to think of jokes.
I was thinking this today. I'm like, what do I do all day? I eat, I work out, I write, I work on write stand-up, I work on scripts, I'll do a self-tape. Then after like 3 p.m. I just kind of hang out with people or do shows.
And then
It's the easiest, best life.
yeah.
I'm the equivalent of a photographer. Like for a comedian. And then
it really is.
yeah, and then if something's really funny, like when something it just happens to be really funny and you go on stage and you just say exactly it,
Yeah.
and that's the joke.
Yeah.
That's like the comedy equivalent of being a photographer. I didn't write a joke.
I'm,
I
like,
didn't even
so
do
lazy.
anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's just what happened.
That's how I feel when I rely on my personality up there. Like I'm not
Yeah.
right in months. I'll just go up there and be like, God, I'm so charming.
Yeah.
It's like fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like you said that you were having a mental health crisis the last month. And so
Yeah.
what did you think about? Like, were you like writing jokes and you're like, not funny?
Well, I definitely didn't write jokes when I was having the mental health crisis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
During the crisis?
Well, I wrote down things that happened, and in the
Yes.
psych ward, it just
Yes.
happened to be hilarious.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with that, which is I never sat down and be like, what's the or went back through my notes. I just went, this is exactly what happened. Just write down what happened so you remember exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And I did that quite a bit over the past month, and I think I'm gonna walk away with a lot of material.
I thought you were going to say a lot of money from suing the hospital.
No.
Because that would be awesome.
Spoke to a lawyer. They said they can only really cover lost wages. So it would be like
For a day.
a couple $100.
Oh, $50 for a sesh spot?
Yeah, exactly.
You say that to the lawyer, $50 for a sesh spot?
I'm just trying to help. Man.
So you're getting in contact with Dave?
No, just theoretically. I'm not doing this pro bono. Why would I do that? Taking on that case would be crazy.
Yeah.
Going to the cellar as a lawyer.
Go! He has to go talk to the person who writes the checks. Under Jamie Wolf does comedy. No, it's just Jamie Wolf. You have to send him back to get another
Under
check.
his business. It's under his business name.
Not a pedophile LLC.
God. You suck.
I was thinking about how traumatic that is, thinking you were going to go to the hospital just for medication and you didn't leave the hospital instead.
Well, it's not even, it is traumatic, of course, but it's mostly a reminder that in America, if you need help and if you really, if you're in a place of requiring help,
Yeah.
you're not going to get it. There's not even a shot in hell. Don't try.
Just
it's
a
going to
really
make
good
it
reminder that if you're feeling sad, it's better to just do it than Because the help that they will provide is not any help at all.
No. You know what really helped? The one thing that really helped of all the resources
Breaking up with my girlfriend.
was stop. You said that. Was calling 988 actually helped. And it's funny because have you done that before?
Like the housing line?
No, 988. I think that's 311.
Oh.
You might be maybe thinking of 988 is
know.
It's the suicide hotline. They changed the number
They
to
changed
988.
it. They changed it. Why did they change it again?
Because you had to remember a Logic song to remember the suicide hotline number before. And now it's just 3 numbers.
You had to spell out I want to die on your keypad. So yeah, we were looking into changing things. So it's 988 now.
So now it's 988. And I called 988 when I was feeling like really bad, suicidal, like early this month. I was alone in Minneapolis. And this woman on the phone, it was funny because she did like truly nothing. But I mean it when I say like it changed my whole outlook because she was just like, what's going on? Has anything prompted you feeling this way? And I was like, yeah, my grandmother died and it's the first death in my family and it's got me thinking a lot about death and it's just it's a scary, very scary thing to think about. And as apparently this is what they do, she didn't say anything, didn't suggest a solution, didn't give advice. She just went, so I'm hearing that it's been really hard after your grandma passed away. And at first I was like, yeah, you're hearing it correctly. And then like the third time she did it, I was like, yeah. Like, yes, it has been hard, and it's tough to see everyone else be doing better than me right now emotionally in a time where I feel like I'm struggling. And you get it.
And then she repeated it back to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, you're amazing.
Yeah, literally. That was all. And then, but it felt like she cared. And then I felt like she really did care because she followed up the next 2 days. They call back. Mm-hmm. She called back an hour later.
Just making sure you're not knife to neck.
Knife to neck.
Hey, Jamie, just checking in. Are you knife to neck?
No.
Jamie.
Taking the knife away. No,
Jamie is knife to air now. Jamie, knife to floor.
No.
Go throw it out, Jamie.
Kicking it out of the room. No knife in room.
The suicide hotline lady's in your window. No knife to neck, Jamie.
She's like a window washer somehow, like on one of those like rappels.
Well, because there's nothing more annoying than someone going like, oh, well, like, or like someone talking about something they don't fucking understand, or just being like trying to solve it instantly because fixing it makes you feel worse in the moment. And also there's no fixing it. It's just like a bad period.
It's a bad period. Also, one thing that was helpful in addition to those things was that like on the phone with my friend, I called my friend before 988 and my friend was like sobbing on the phone. And I was like, this is making me so much more scared because they were taking it so seriously. And then
they were sobbing.
My friend was sobbing on the phone. Oh, okay. And so that made me scared. Yeah. Because I was like, whoa, this feels really serious.
You're like, do you need call 988?
Yeah. And then I called 988 and she was just like, oh, that feels totally, she really was like, that feels totally normal. Like, I get that. That makes sense. That makes sense. Like she wasn't like sobbing. That would be crazy. If the 988
she starts
woman
sobbing. No, that makes sure it makes sense.
Whoa.
Jamie, what? Jamie Wolf, what?
That sounds
I
so
called you
bad.
yesterday and you didn't have knife to neck. What happened?
Why is knife to neck now?
Knife to neck.
Chanting it. You can hear other people in the background chanting along. Wait, did I call the wrong number? Yeah, this is 988. This isn't the suicide hotline. The suicide hotline is a Logic song, remember?
And you have to do the missing verse.
Yeah, please rap the last verse to talk to someone. They're already crying. When they pick
Sorry,
up.
sir, it's offbeat. Can you try again?
To speak to an aide, you need to rap the missing verse on beat.
No, it's gotta, not gutter. Wait, I thought about when I was in the psych ward and like the first like group that I had. I don't know. You probably didn't go to like group things because it was just purgatory that you were in, right?
There was only one person in there that was doing badly. And there were 5 other people that were put into my psych ward in the same way I was, which was to say I went because my primary care physician told me to go to get meds, to see a psychiatrist and get meds. And then they just threw me in a psych ward, literally against my own will. I swear to God. I was like, I don't need to be here. I'm not going to harm myself. This was after Minneapolis. This wasn't even, I was fine.
And that's not even legal.
What?
That's not legal?
Oh, it's fully legal. Totally allowed.
Yeah, but you're not presenting harm to yourself or others.
Well, they wrote on the form things that were just literally not what I said.
That's
and they told
awesome.
my therapist, they told
He
my
says,
sister.
I have a fat ass. I didn't even say that.
What? I said it was plump. I said it was grabbable.
I said it was nice shape, but it's not the biggest I've ever seen.
I said firm, but not too big. God.
This psych ward sucks.
But they literally told my sister, they were like, yeah, he's like really not doing well. He said he's going to hurt himself. And I was like, oh, I literally, the whole day I was there, I never said that. 988 was 3 days before. I was better and I just wanted to see a psychiatrist and get meds. So I was like, I'm not going to harm myself. And I told them this and they were like, but we think you are. Which is such a funny. I'm like, but I'm me and you're a different person. Why would you know better than me?
It's like when people say hypotheticals and you're like, yeah, if that happened.
Right, I guess if I wanted to, I would, but I don't. And they're like, but we think you do secretly.
So it's like you could say anything you wanted to, and they're like, we think you want to hurt yourself.
Correct. And then on the intake form, I believe they lied. So essentially, I'd have to prove somehow that they lied. I should have recorded all of it on my phone, like the interview, because I'd have to prove that they lied on the intake form because they just straight up wrote down things that I hadn't said. Because the next day, someone came to interview me, and they were like, so how are you feeling? Are you still feeling like you're going to harm yourself? I was like, oh, I never said that. They just lied and put that down on the form. I never said that.
You getting
once.
real with the other psychiatrists?
All of them.
Were they like, what did
I was
they
real
say?
with all of them. I was like, oh, I'm not going to harm myself. This is going to make things much worse what you're about to do to me. And it did. I nailed it. I was correct.
Did they respond to that, or were they like,
No.
okay,
No, because what they do, and this is kind of a PSA, at very bad hospitals, good hospitals, they don't really do this. But a bad hospital will intake you against your own will and say that you're at risk of harming yourself for the purpose of taking the money. Because when they intake you, you require a bed for the night, you require a couple meals, they are required to give you medication, they're required to do blood work. All of those things cost money.
Are you?
And essentially, everyone in the psych ward keeps their job because they put people in against their own will.
And did the blood work come out okay? Are you STD free?
I have syphilis, as well as gonorrhea, AIDS, and I was on meth at the time.
I also tested positive for COVID when I was in the psych ward. Did you remember that? I literally had COVID.
I do remember that.
I don't even, and they were just like, nah, it's not the contagious kind. And I was like, I thought you guys haven't figured that out yet.
You're like, are you sure? How do you know?
So the government is keeping secrets from us because I didn't know that.
So the government is. No one knew that.
I feel like in the therapy, I wish that you got at least one little therapy session because the group therapy sessions were like insane.
Yeah.
Music therapy, it was like this guy that like clearly went to NYU and now his dreams are fucking ruined. He's like a psych ward like music art director, teacher, taking it so seriously, handing out Alanis Morissette lyrics and being like, all right, you know the song I'm broke but I'm happy, I'm short but I'm kind. Those were blank, so we had to say like what we are and then like but antithesis to that. I'm sad but I'm happy, I'm anxious but I'm sometimes not. And like he like made us all sing it too.
Yeah.
And like of course one thing is those psych wards, like a lot of Hispanic people just speak Spanish and they have no one to translate.
Oh yeah.
So they're just kind of like I'm like, wow, that must make you feel less crazy, huh?
Estoy feliz, pero debajo.
They're like, no, he doesn't actually speak Spanish. He's schizophrenic. That's just his schizophrenia.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, we need a translator. No, he's crazy. What do you keep looking at?
I don't know. This guy keeps like giving announcements. I can see through this theater. He keeps like talking to the whole room. This place is really insulated from sound. I can't hear anything.
I know, isn't it great?
But I wish I had. Well, technically we had a group therapy, but I didn't go because no one went. There was 6 of us in the ward. One of us was a guy who's fully like really insane, like schizophrenic, like crack addict. I see him all the time by Sash. You would recognize him if you saw him, by the way. He is a person that I do not like. He's very aggressive. Like seriously scary guy. Will like kind of threaten people in order to get money from them
Do you
on
see
the
what's
street.
happening to me?
Yeah, you good?
Yeah, I'm great. Keep going about your psych ward story.
So this is my homeless enemy, but the other...
Glad to know it's not me.
You're my homeless friend. My homeless ally.
Homeless girlfriend, right?
Nope. So we went to... Or we were supposed to go to music therapy, but 5 of us were just genuinely normal. 5 people in there could be described in the exact same way as me, which was, it was just straight up, should be criminal what happened. All of us were fine. Mm-hmm. Just shouldn't have been in there.
Did you guys get to know each other?
I got to know one of the guys like fairly well. He was in my roommate, Tyrone. Nice guy.
Were
really
you guys
nice guy.
shooting the...
We were shooting the shit slightly. He's got
Yeah.
a kid.
Good.
And he just really wanted to get out and see his kid.
I mean...
I wanted to see my grandpa. They literally, the day that I was supposed to get out, that they prevented this because they kept me in. I wanted to go see my grandpa because it would be my late grandmother's 93rd birthday. And she had died like 3 weeks prior. And it was really important to me to go see him. And they prevented that from happening. And then he was like, I just want to see my kid. They won't let me. I just have a kid. I want to see my kid.
Like I have to get home and make them dinner. Actually,
yeah. Like my kid needs me there to survive.
The kid is eating like dog food out of the dog bowl. It's fine. Maybe that's just me as a kid.
We checked on your kid. He's okay, and you're crazy.
We let the kid to be outside. You're insane, though.
We let the kid outside too. We pooped your kid and everything's okay. Isn't he 12?
Squeezed your kid. Squeezed it like a Capri
That's
Sun.
not how most dogs poop, Kylie.
But that's how my dog poops, and I'm the main character.
You squeeze him like a tube of toothpaste.
So what? Okay, get over it.
Or her shit just like kind of comes out randomly when you're playing with
I
her.
mean, sometimes that does happen, but now I like fully squeeze her, so it's like she's empty. I'm like, there will be no shit left in you if my life depends on it.
It's like a beer can, like after you shotgun. It's just
yeah, and I put it up against my head.
Yeah,
her
you
back
crush
legs.
her. You crush her.
Boys, I did it. Yeah, that was something I was thinking about when you had told me what happened. I was like, oh my God, what if when I went in, they did actually keep me for like way longer than I did. And it's like, I had Bonnie and just like, you don't have any rights when you're in there. So
no,
it's best to just not give them any of that, or give the government your DNA. And yes, those are related.
Definitely don't do 23andMe or whatever.
Don't do 23andMe. Don't do 24 and we. Don't do 25 and they. Okay.
25 and they.
I'm just gonna keep saying I'm Native American. It's
25
fine.
and they. That's a show that's being pitched right now in LA.
25 and they come with these girl boss abortion queens to go get slayed. Written by Judd Apatow. Oh, great. We love his perspective from a teen girl's mind. That's not fucking creepy.
I like you getting mad about a thing you made up on the spot. Yeah, Judd, you're going to do justice to their stories. Ugh.
Restorative justice, Judd Apatow. Woo! I mean, come on. Like, when are you going to give it up, brother? Did you see the clip I posted of from the show about me killing Jimmy Fallon? And I tagged Jimmy Fallon. I said, Jimmy Fallon, hey, buddy.
You threatened
no
Jimmy
hard
Fallon
feelings.
no hard feelings. Just gonna kill you, but I'm not angry.
I literally left the part in there. It's like, is she gonna kill Jimmy Fallon? And then immediately after go, yeah.
It's so funny. I did like a skit on Jimmy Fallon. There was a ad in the New York City subway called Jimmy Fallon's to Nightmares. It was like a haunted house in 30 Rock. And the joke I made was like, what is it? It's just an intern walking in going, I told the cops everything. You're going to jail for a very long time. Like, what are his to nightmares? Like his wife walking in, I heard about the 40 affairs. Or is his to nightmare you walk into a room with 13 of your closest friends arranged in chairs and they go, sit down, Jimmy.
I was gonna say
we need to talk about your alcohol
That is his to nightmare. That's probably all of our to nightmares.
I said that joke and then it was on my social media and they asked me for a packet. These people are
really?
like, yeah, they're soulless. This is what I forgot is that
That's
like
so funny.
industry. I mean, like everyone, like Netflix works with Gillis now, even though like he was canceled by everyone.
Yeah, and then SNL had him host.
And then SNL had him host. Like what I realized is like ultimately the entertainment industry is just an amalgamation of people who are straight up leeches and and it's only for fame. So if you are a certain level of famous, it doesn't matter what you do. So I'm like, I'll just say anything now. I don't want to be a bad person, but I do think saying anything doesn't matter. You can say whatever. I'm going to Heil Hitler.
I love Elon.
Seeing heiling. I mean, yeah, Elon did that. And the right was just like, he didn't Heil Hitler.
Like, that is so crazy. They're gaslighting us in front of our eyes.
My take was just, even if he didn't Heil Hitler, you can at least admit it's not good that we had to argue about whether or not he did. Like, that's not a good world to be in. I've never said hello to a friend and had them go, whoa, 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 were you Heiling Hitler?
Come on, buddy. He brings a gun on stage. You're like, it was just on him. It's just what people do. Oh my God.
It's just on him.
Like, I feel like Elon, he used to be like liberals kind of used to like him. Right?
Oh yeah, because he's a big climate change advocate and still is.
Yeah, but that's so crazy. How can you be a climate change activist and at the same time, did you see that he was at that meeting in Germany being like,
Davos?
Don't let them embarrass. Like, don't be ashamed of who you Germans are true at heart. And everyone was like, woo! And then he's like, by the way, the planet is burning. And they're like, what the fuck? What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, I know.
And Theo Von was at the inauguration, and I thought to myself, we have the same haircut. And he's at the inauguration.
Well, are you upset? He's like from Louisiana. You got to expect him to be...
I'm upset that I was not invited, but Theo Von was.
What I really have a problem with, period, is any comedian like shilling for a candidate one way or the other. Like just the fact Joe Rogan endorsed anyone ever, even when it was Bernie, I'm like, don't do that. You're a comic. You see though? What the fuck are you doing? You're going to the inauguration? And you got to be so stupid to like believe any politician will ever help you.
But also just like what, like why? Theo Von has like never his thoughts are always like, oh man, and what do you think about that? Like he's just like a cog in a wheel at this point. And I feel like the White House, the press secretary the other day was like, we're going to give press passes to influencers and content creators and podcasters. Yeah. And I'm just going to say if Bryce Hall is in the press hall, I will shoot myself dead on live national television.
Yo, Mr. President, can you dab correctly? doing like a video of Trump.
Yo, Trump, what do you think about these awesome waves that have been going on because of the tsunami from what they call climate change?
Yo, totally tubular, the tsunami waves.
President Trump, have you learned the sticky TikTok dance yet?
Trump, how many times a day do you goon?
It's 420, Trump, smile.
I don't believe he's going to end democracy. Like, I'm not like a loser like that. I don't watch MSNBC every day. Mm-hmm. But I do think it would be the funniest timeline if he did end it, because the way he would end it would be by like essentially just becoming like a content creator.
He's just
like eventually he would be like Trump would be doing like, he'd be like, this is a prank. I'm about to prank Russia. We're sending over our best. And we'd invade Russia as like a bit. Like he'd be doing like a direct.
He drops the content video before he drops the bombs.
Yeah, exactly. Russia, this is a prank. It's a prank, bro.
See, okay, if I went to the White House, I'd go, hey, listen, you could be as famous of a stand-up comedian, content creator. I'll even donate to your Patreon. Just step down. You're so funny.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe your thoughts aren't right, but you're so good.
He is really
Can
funny.
you open for me, Donald Trump?
Daddy?
Daddy, please.
If you listen to his rallies a lot of the time, like...
Jokes, punchlines.
Like he's really legitimately doing like kind of an hour up there.
Yeah.
Like they laugh. They really are like a hot crowd. If you listen to him like start in China, when he starts
the wingspan of these transgenders.
he's like a caricature of himself up there. And even his own fans think it's funny. They themselves are laughing at it, which is so hilarious. Which I prefer to I don't prefer to Kamala. I don't prefer any politician to any other because I really truly believe they're all doing the exact same thing. But what I prefer about Trump is like at least he's funny while doing it and he's not like
acting like it's like go ahead.
Coming after us. And we have to help the minorities and the disenfranchised. I can't do it. Oh,
it's like, for a second, I'm like, what is he doing? Is he doing RFK Jr.? Like,
I can do RFK. I can do RFK. Wait, sorry.
Okay, RFK Jr., is it true that you said vaccines cause autism?
I never said that. No, I said that they cause cancer in the throat if you put a lethal amount of ethyl lead inside they call it an activating agent.
And then Curb Your Enthusiasm music
that's not true. And I think that every vaccine should be available if it's proven to be healthy and safe. I just believe they have not done so.
So
wow, that's pretty good.
Do you stand by saying that you shouldn't have been admitted to the psych ward?
After doing
after doing RFK Jr., where you did it a little long, where I'm like, does he think it's that good?
Yeah, it's not that good, to be fair. None of my impressions are. But
the commitment's there.
Yes, I do stand by the fact I shouldn't have been admitted. Because I'm a comic.
What do you mean because you're a comic?
I don't know.
You're like free tickets to the show and I'll release you.
There was a guy in there. I was like, dude, he was like, what do you do? And I was like, he was one of the security guys. I was like, anything I say sounds crazy because I'm in this outfit that doesn't fit. That looks like the boy in the striped pajamas fit.
It's made out of paper, basically.
Literally made out of paper so that if I try to smother myself, it rips.
No problem.
And I was like, anything sounds crazy, but I'm a stand-up comedian.
What did he say?
He was like, no, I believe you. And I was like, I know you don't, just look it up. And then he looked it up and I swear to God, he was like, oh, like he really didn't believe me before.
That's so
he was like,
funny.
oh, so.
Well, he wasn't expecting, maybe an open micer's in the psych ward, sure, but he wasn't expecting to pull it up and be like, oh,
there's some
Drake
followers.
follows you.
Yeah, that's what he said. He went, Drake follows you.
Yeah, what is your opinion on, because Drake follows you when Kendrick's song dropped, calling him a pedophile, did you message him about it and check in?
Me and Driz have been friends since, gosh, how long has it been for Driz and I? Probably 2021.
Oh, and were you a kid then? Because
what?
How old were you? Just wondering.
I was 2021 when he followed me. I was 24.
Okay.
No, I was 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever...
And he had been talking to me for about 10 years. He had been making, I don't think they were sexual, but they were definitely about my comments about my physical appearance.
He's like, I loved you when you were in your diaper.
He kept saying, you'd look so good minus 5 years. But I was 15 at the time. And felt odd to me.
I felt old, so I felt old enough for Drake.
You know how people will sometimes say, if I were 10 years younger? He kept saying, if you were 10 years younger.
It's, baby, everything would work out if you were 10 years younger.
You were 10 years younger.
I mean, I did submit for a writing job for like one of those like content creating like YouTubers that has like famous people on, and the structure that they gave us was do it as if Drake is coming on, and it was literally right after the Kendrick stuff dropped.
So did you?
And of course I did. Of course I knew I wasn't getting the job. I wasn't going to get that job, but I was like, I have all of the jokes that I need. I was like, I even did like one of the jokes about him being in Degrassi. I'm like, where'd your wheelchair go?
Did you submit that?
I did submit it, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Every time I submit stuff, I always like put something in there. When I submitted to like late night, like a couple years ago, I put in like a celebrity game where they like, I don't remember, they have to guess something about their like other celebrity cast members they've worked with, and if they get it wrong, they have to get on all hands and knees and eat out of a dog bowl.
That was your pitch to like a late night show?
Jimmy Fallon.
That's the funniest shit ever.
If anything, I spend more time on these than the people who actually get it.
If Jimmy gets it wrong, he has to put on a dog collar and I have to walk him.
If Jimmy gets it wrong, he's got to put a gag in his mouth, bend over, and then get the pedigree out.
I get to pour milk all over Jimmy, and he has to try to catch it with his tongue
Jimmy,
as it pours down his
wide.
forehead.
Yeah, and it's almond milk. You like that, Jimmy? Almond?
Freak.
Stupid
why
Jimmy.
Why is this such an anti-Jimmy Fallon? Are we anti-Jimmy Fallon? I guess I'm really anti-him. I guess I really am.
I wrote in my one-woman show because of the riff I did the other night, because I just think it's so funny to like threaten to kill Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, it's funny.
And so I was like, I'm making it like I'm in the psych ward and I'm basically like a character, and I'm like, yeah, they kept me for an extra few days because I said I'd kill Jimmy Fallon.
That's so funny.
Then I start doing my 5 in the psych. No, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, that's not that crazy to say that. I feel like you could say that. You should be able to say I'll kill Jimmy Fallon.
Thank you. I do have the First Amendment right to say I want to kill Jimmy Fallon.
I don't know if we do have that right anymore. Like a direct threat?
Well, I guess we did just talk about going to the psych ward for the last 15. It's like, he knows I'm joking, right? I don't know. We can't tell what is true or not. Have you been taking your medication? Yeah.
That's not important.
If anything, it's made me want to kill Jimmy Fallon more. I'm just kidding.
As I get more lucid, I realize more and more that's the correct answer, is killing Jimmy Fallon.
The next CEO dead is Jimmy Fallon.
CEO.
Everyone's actually so upset with me. It's not a Luigi moment at all.
All the news anchors. And the CEO of Fake Laughter has been shot to death tonight outside of his Midtown apartment.
Nancy Grace. Jimmy Fallon. I mean, what awful girl would kill Jimmy Fallon? Nice little Jimmy Fallon.
I do love how the news for like a week, they tried to make people angry about him. No, I didn't see any commentary that was like honest how most Americans feel.
Yeah.
One, because all news anchors are rich and they don't really see the system that everyone else is
I have no idea what's going on in the world just based off of the news.
But those people, MSNBC, Fox, Ben Shapiro, fucking David Pakman, everyone, right, left, everyone who's a political pundit was being like, obviously this is terrible. And no one supports this. This is not the solution. And everyone in the comments was like, we don't feel bad at all. Not even a little bit. And then they just stopped running those stories. They just stopped covering it because they realized everyone hated their coverage.
Yeah. And the like how they turned like also like really hot montages of Luigi into like those cap cuts. And everyone's like, damn, Luigi. Like, and like, I'm posing with handcuffs, like, Luigi. Damn, him coming in the helicopter with the mayor. Oh yeah, our mayor that like is like, look at, I can get hot guys too. I don't know, what are you trying to say?
I know, that was crazy. I love Eric Adams, by the way. He's the only politician I support. He's the only one I like. And it's because he was under FBI investigation. I think they might have actually detained him for on charges of bribery and corruption, and he's still the mayor.
Yeah.
He didn't. What I like about someone like that is like at least he's nakedly pursuing power at all costs. Because everyone else pretends, and he's just like, no, I'm corrupt, and I am taking bribes. And unfortunately, you can't get me out of office, so I'm going to keep doing that for 2 years.
He's in a meeting. Sir, why are we spending so much on a helicopter? To get the kids on CapCut. They're not going to get shit out of me.
Well, they're going to CapCut if we bring him in a normal police cruiser? Yeah, that's a good idea. You're fired.
Oh, you think content is just simple these days? No, these kids can access helicopters if they want. They called an Uber helicopter. It's not even the government's.
No, it's not Blade. It's a separate organization. It's Uber now has helicopters. It's not Blade, though. It's different. Thank you for more baklava, please. Because he's bribed by the Turks. Or baklava and hookah, please.
Thank you. More hookah, please.
What do we have next?
He's at his desk. Feet up.
Solving the homeless crisis? Fuck you.
No thanks. Hey, no thanks.
Kill this guy.
Do you, would you say that, like, for a second when you saw the homeless guy in there, you were like, we're the same, or did you not feel that way at all?
We're the same?
Yeah.
No. I never felt I should be in there at any moment because I shouldn't have been. I wasn't doing RFK to them. You know what I mean? Like, they had no reason to put me in there. It wasn't like they heard this podcast and then they came to my house.
The psychiatrist listened to all your podcasts. You seem like you're not doing well. I mean, if I can learn anything from Can I Go Home Now, things are not well.
You made like 100 episodes of a podcast that like 1,000 people listen to. So yeah, we're going to admit you and maybe think about that while you're in here.
And yeah, maybe work on that Spotify content creator partnership while you're in here. Cause I don't think you're going to really make it with just on your own. Yeah, I think your money's gonna run out. The Patreon's not really working. They're giving you content advice. Psychiatrists are now just giving you content advice.
Might it help if we prescribed 3 posts per week? One of them has to be new content. I'm sorry, I don't write the algorithm.
Yeah, and I honestly I would do sketch, stand up.
They're just my managers.
Film pictures, yeah. And yeah, we'll contact you. They call you the day after. You're still doing well? Did you do the 3 posts a day?
Are you keeping up with the script we told you to write? You should always have one. JFL might come calling, and if you don't have a script by the end of... You need a script. What pilot are you going to pitch after JFL if you just have nothing? I mean, you can't come up with one after you get it. You really have to have worked on this for a while.
Yeah. Might I recommend to you Kylie Vincent's I Wanted to Die? She talks about the psych ward. Maybe you should see it for inspiration. They start referencing other people's psych ward shows.
Yeah, you don't want to step on Kylie's toes. Also, I think Gary Goldman talked about going to the psych ward very briefly in The Great Depression. You might want to use that for reference.
Yeah, just look up Great Depression, Gary Goldman.
It's on HBO. It's on Max. It's unbelievable piece of work.
They correct themselves. It's on Max. Sorry. Where's my head at?
I'm in the psych ward.
HBO. It's a pick me girl as the nurse.
Just like, it's funny because like in that scenario, it's like they could be like, what I would assume is I've gone fully insane and they're not saying any of that. Like if they said that to me, I would respond by going, totally, I think the Eagles have it this year. Like I agree.
Like
because I think I heard them wrong. I would assume I'm now hallucinating
you would do
a
the
guy.
thing where it's like, oh yeah, no, it's good, thank you, and they're like,
yeah.
I just said that you should do 3 posts a week, actually.
100%. That's exactly what I do. Sorry, I have to adjust my balls. So
oh, it's okay. That could be probably the end of it.
it hurts so.
That's actually really good. Your balls hurt.
Oh God.
Your balls hurt the entire time.
No, just towards the end I adjusted and then it started yanking them. It really hurt.
I feel like I feel like I feel offended that you didn't tell me sooner, as if it was like something you were doing during the podcast. You sick fuck. Oh, you need your balls blue during a podcast.
No.
Jamie Wolf, you are done.
I don't have blue balls.
You Hans Kim, you are done.
Stop.
Wait, do you have anything you want to promote? I'll say it.
Yeah, just my social media, I guess.
Follow Jamie on Instagram. Jamie Wolf does comedy. Jamie Wolf comedy. And do not come to one of his shows thinking you can have a date with him.
Correct.
He is not okay with that. If anything, he is looking for a lifetime partner that is looking to start to kids.